Self-Reiki. So we're going to start off by looking at some of the anatomy of our energy body. If you were on an operating table, you would not be able to locate the energy body. So a lot of different cultures have imagined and used different varieties. So if you have a certain way that you relate with energy, use that. A lot of people in the West especially don't have a way. We weren't really taught anything about an energy body. So some of the basic areas that you'll want to think about are, number one, my mind goes straight to the perineum. And that little spot, you can use your hand and touch that spot. Use your other hand and touch the crown of your head. So there's this line, I call it the tube of light. And between this line is where we're going to be focusing most of our energy for doing self-Reiki. So getting in touch with both of those areas, the exercise that I like to do is where you actually touch to start, and then you'll move your hands away and feel the space between your hands. And then you move further and further away until you don't need to use your hands. And it's easier while you're lying down, which the self-Reiki practice that I'm going to teach you is best done lying down. So you can remove your hands, and then you still have, like, I can still feel those areas even though my hands aren't there. My awareness has gone directly to my perineum and the crown of my head. And when I move my hands away, this central channel is completely lit up. So what we want to do to get started here is to light up your central channel. The whole practice, most of it, I would say, I can't give a percentage. Mostly everything that I've practiced in Vedanta yoga and in Tantra yoga has been to illuminate the central channel and to clear the central channel, to activate, to purify. And there's so much emphasis put here. From this central channel, you can learn to move energy, and this is where your hands or whatever other part of your body can become a conduit of, you can move all your energy to a certain area and light that area up. For what we're doing today, we're going to bring our awareness to the central channel. We're going to clear that tube, and then we're going to learn to bring in energy from above and energy from below into the spine, how to move that energy throughout our body, and then we're going to use our hands to direct to different areas of our body for self-healing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we just did, finding the perineum and the crown of the head. The next thing you're going to do, practice as you inhale, bringing energy from here down, all the way down into the pelvis. So when you inhale, filling up, and I like to imagine pouring air or pouring water. In India, when you would say you were thirsty, you would say like this. It would be like, this is the sign for water, that you want water. So I imagine pouring that water down into my pelvis. Hold there in a breath pause. When you're ready to exhale, imagine that energy coming back up and back up to the crown of the head. So every breath is an opportunity to do this practice. It's really, really good for cultivating awareness as well as filling your body up with energy. When you're full of energy, you don't absorb. You don't have to say that somebody's energy is affecting you. You don't have to say like you're taking on other people's energy, because when you're full, you're emitting energy. You become a healing force just by you walking into a room, because you're full of energy from above and from below. This is where the source is, the source of energy coming from above and below. And when I say above and below, what I naturally picture is celestial energy, energy of light beings, angels. I can think of different planetary energy, or the whole of the above. And then when I say the below, I'm thinking about dirt, soil, roots. I'm thinking about ancestors, other beings of matter, meaning that, you know, maybe it's a soul that's been in a body at some point. It's like, it's rooty, earthy energy. This is connecting with lineage, your ancestry, all the way to its non-local source. So we're connecting down to, you know, the blood of the earth through the roots. And I like to imagine that extending out to my ancestry, like what my DNA and what my physical matter is made of, connecting in that level. So on the inhale, you can actually, another practice I like to do, we did this one, bringing energy in, inhaling it down to the pelvis, imagining you're holding that breath in the pelvis, exhaling, bringing that energy back up. When I'm getting ready to do a Reiki session, I will imagine on the inhale, when I'm breathing in, that the central channel, or your tube of light, or the Sushumna Nadi, becoming a tube, an actual tube. And when you inhale, you're bringing both from above and below, filling up this tube of light from both directions, above and below. And you can merge that in the heart. You can merge it in your solar plexus and your belly. I like this space here, right in the heart, because the hands are extensions of that heart energy. It's in the same area, so it feels natural to me. So inhaling, bringing both energies of above and below, bringing them to the heart. On every exhale, you're gathering that energy, and instantly my hands get warm. It's, you know, mental association from practicing this over and over again. The heat is palpable in my hands. You might not feel that right away. I mentioned in the beginning, I've been practicing this energy technique since 2009. So it's been a lot of practice that I can touch these things and I can feel it activate instantly. It took me a long time though. It took a long time to turn that part of myself on. And when I say that, I mean feeding that part of myself, doing certain prayers and rituals to activate that part. So don't feel intimidated or, put off if you don't notice this right away. It's a practice. Okay, so inhaling energy in from above and below, bringing that to the heart. And then on the exhales, you're going to imagine that energy coming through your hands. And one practice that I like to do in a beginning Reiki class is feeling that energy between your own two hands. If you don't feel something, you can rub the hands together and then pull them apart and then sort of play with this light ball of energy between your two hands. Nowadays in the kids' cartoons, they're learning this, and they have these martial arts cartoons, avatar videos, and you can see them doing this thing, and it's a real thing. So you're going to just feel that energy between your hands. You can move that further and further away. Of course, you'll likely feel it more when you're close, and it takes some time to expand that ball of light between your hands. Okay, so one of the first things, once you've done all of this practices that we've gone through, before starting a session, is to call on, meaning it's sort of like making a prayer to, or asking for guidance from the ancestors, teachers. I like to make a prayer to my body, involving that also, like giving honor to my body as one of the parts of, the Reiki masters, the angels, the light beings. When you go through the little book that I wrote, I think it's called Reiki for Everyone, you'll see the actual invocation to begin a Reiki session. Within that invocation, I like to also honor the matter of my body, paying homage to that also. So call on the guidance, give thanks. The next thing you're going to do is connect. So this is the part where you'll connect to the above, connect to the below, filling your tube up with light. So what do we have here? Call on guidance. Calling on guidance, I consider this to be also clearing your energy field. So it's like bringing your attention straight to, we're doing Reiki now. And this means basically that you're not lingering on your other issues, your other topics, what other things you have going on in your mind. This actually has it takes a long time. And I don't know if anybody's perfect at it. So once we get started with your Reiki session, you might find your mind wandering into these other corridors of itself, thinking like, oh my gosh, this and that. And then you bring it back to the center. Clear, the word clear, clarity now, clear my space, these kind of little affirmations can remind you to come back into your central channel. So clear, that's going to happen multiple times while you're doing your session on yourself. Connect, meaning that you're connecting above and below, and send. Clear, connect, send. Okay, so for the actual sending part, I would like to stop this video and start again. So on the Teachable platform, for some reason, videos are limited to about 13 to 15 minutes. So I don't want to get cut off in the middle of going through the Reiki hand positions. So I'll stop now.